Hello, time for another math ramble. We are looking at the department's May 2023 paper 2, question 9.2. Right, question says, in the diagram, DEFG is a cyclic quad. So I'm just going to highlight that for myself so that I don't forget. The fact that they're highlighting that information means it could probably be useful. One day in life, that will not be the case. Sometimes information will be highlighted and turn out to be absolutely irrelevant to your solution. But in matric, typically when they highlight something, it means it could be of use to you. Right, and we're told that EF is parallel to DG, which is indicated on the diagram. Right, H is another point on the circle such that DH is parallel to FG. Okay. Chord EH is drawn. Let D1 be X. Prove giving reasons that D1 is equal to D2. Now, if you find questions like this daunting, what I have sometimes recommended to students is, okay, forget the X. Just give D1 whatever value you want to give it. And ask yourself, well, how would I get the value of D2? And then as you're like going along, writing your stuff down in terms of whatever number you've chosen, kind of make a note of like, okay, what is the reasoning that I used? And then go back to the beginning, and instead of using whatever number you chose, use X. Okay, so let me demonstrate. So I could say, for instance, I want, I'm going to say X is, you know what, it's giving 20 degrees, right? So let me now just try and figure out the value of D2, the size of D2. Okay, so what stands out for me about D1 is that it is in the cyclic quad that was highlighted originally. So yeah, my inclination is to, yeah, just a heads up, like I generally do just like go into these questions quite blind and only afterwards realize that, damn, I could have done that in 3 steps. Anyway, so I'm just going to fill in that that is 160 degrees. Because it's a cyclic quad, opposite interior angles add up to 120, 180, not 120. Okay, co-interior angles, so this would be 20 degrees. Okay, and then I get my nice alternate angles over there, so this would also then be 20 degrees. So that shows that D1 is equal to D2. Now, instead of doing it with 20, because no one told us it's 20 degrees, right, we're going to do it the same thing in terms of X. Right, so D1 is X. We then came here and said, well, this angle will be 180 minus 20, or 180 minus X, because opposite interior angles are a cyclic quad. Then we said, okay, these two lines are parallel, so this angle and this angle are co-interior, right? And so we're figuring out, okay, what do I need to add to this to get to 180? I just need to add X, right? And that corresponds with what we had already seen, that these two angles are in fact equal, right? And then as our last step, we said, okay, well, this angle and that angle are alternate. So this angle will also be X. Okay, so let's write that down. So we start out with F is equal to 180 degrees minus X, because opposite interior angles of cyclic quad, okay, and that is cyclic quad E, D, G, F. Okay, then from there we say, well, then angle G will be equal to X, right? Because co-interior angles on the parallel lines EF and DG. Okay, then from there we said D2 is also then equal to X because of alternate angles on the parallel lines DH and FG, right? And so therefore we've shown that D2 is equal to D1 is equal to X.